Welcome, everyone, to episode 123 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, is talking with coffee worth your time?
I prefer tea.
Okay, that's fine. This episode, we're going to be talking about Coffee Talk, episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, by, I think it's Toge Productions.
Maybe it's Toge.
Or it could be Toge, like Doge.
I have no idea.
Buy some Dogecoin. Anyway, this game came out.
Or don't.
This game came out back in, not too far long ago, April of 2023. I played this on the PC. Tom, it was a paltry 4.12 megabytes on the PC. What about you?
I think you mean 414 megabytes.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. And that's exactly what I said, Tom.
Okay. Well, we could rewind and play it back and see if that's what you said, but it's neither here nor there. So I had some trouble here because normally I just look at the tile and I can tell how big it is on the Xbox. Right. Now, usually I'll click on that and drop in and get, they're more fine detail. But with this one, nothing was listed on the tile. And I thought that was very suspicious.
Very.
Until I opened up and looked at it, and it listed it as 1002.7 megabytes.
What?
Now, that is a gigabyte, which is more than double
yes,
the adjusted size that you've given.
Right. That's really weird. What is going on the Xbox that it was?
I have
blowing
no idea.
Up, doubling. More pixels? More power?
There must be some Series S related code that is necessary. Something.
Using them blast processors. That's what they're doing. I don't know. But what kind of game is this?
Looks like we agree, Chris. You have a question mark on yours, but mine's an exclamation point. This is 100% a visual novel.
Okay. Yes, I did have a question mark because I didn't know. I mean, I haven't really played that many visual novels, so I'm assuming this is what this is. So
yes,
yeah. What about that game loop?
Game loop? You read lots of dialogue, and occasionally you make some drinks to learn about your patrons.
Right. I just wrote, listen to people talk and make coffee.
See, but even that's not 100% accurate. The subtitle of this game isn't even coffee.
Oh, but we'll get into it. Why I said make coffee. But let's talk about these likes, shall we?
Okay. Well, I'll get started. So when dialogue starts appearing on the screen, it makes this text sound, and the text sound is 100% the Mega Man text sound. And I was like, yes, I guess that's in fair use or whatever now. Like, you don't need to pay Capcom for that. But I love the sound of that. Like, if I'm going to have to listen to text drop on a screen, that's how I want to listen to it.
Right. Not the Charlie Brown wop 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 wop.
Yeah,
this is more pleasing to the ear.
Yes,
that's good. I
reminds me of playing many, many hours of Mega Man as a child.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's cool. And to piggyback on the sounds, I thought the lo-fi beats, those were, it got you in the mood. You knew that you were going into a coffee shop, just have those chill vibes, because everyone over there is pretty chill for the most part.
And I liked that you could take that music and you could change the track.
Right. Yeah.
So if you weren't feeling a particular lo-fi beat, you could switch it to some other lo-fi beat.
Right. So good job on allowing you to at least change something in this game. But the art style also I thought was pretty good. The pixel art was it worked to what they're trying to get across here. And that was good.
You know what it reminds me of, Chris? All these other pixel art games that we've played where there's like this bait and switch where like the game starts up and you're like, oh, this game looks like it's going to look awesome. And then like you start playing the game and it doesn't look at all like that art.
Yeah.
This game looks like the cover art. Right. So like you're playing the game, like there's no deception. Right. Like what you see is what you get.
Yes. That's great. Yeah.
So thank you for that. Thank you for not bait and switching us.
We appreciate that. Oh my God. Yeah, we appreciate that, Toge Productions. Toge Productions, whatever it is. It's canon now. But yes, that was great. And I enjoyed my time coffee etching.
Yeah.
That was nice too. I don't know how did that work on the controller?
It's cumbersome. There's
Is there a literal mouse that you have to move around, or like
no? You're using the analog stick, but you have to press down a button to commit to the act.
Right. Okay.
So it's like you're pressing a button. I guess. Do you click with the mouse? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you had on the left hand side, you had you're pouring the milk. And then you had the actual etching, and then there's. I didn't use that last piece, which was to invert things. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't even bother. But I mean, for what it was, I thought the dialogue and the characters themselves were pretty interesting, somewhat entertaining while you were, going through the motions, talking to them. So I don't know about you, how you felt about that.
So I want to get to something that we're gonna be divided on.
Okay.
And I think it's a very good segue.
Okay.
But before, I want to just say I enjoyed the animation of the characters in certain moments where like something maybe dramatic happened.
Yeah.
It did it differently than just the normal reading the text.
Yes.
So like they did a good job of like punctuating certain moments in the game.
Right.
Felt very anime. And I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, they definitely are inspired by that anime look and feel for sure.
So I liked the characters. I especially liked character moments like that happened. I thought those were well executed.
Yeah. You put something else before we I guess get to our dislikes about the auto read, which I do agree on. I do like the fact that you can just have it just play the dialogue as opposed to you constantly pressing a button to progress the dialogue. Yes,
the pressing A to read text will get old pretty quick. I guess we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
I liked that when I put the thing on auto read, like if I were to go check my phone, they keep talking.
Yeah.
So like the rudeness of like, oh no, I'm just gonna go read my phone now while you're talking. Like you're totally gonna miss their dialogue.
Yeah.
Like you would in real life. Being a rude jerk. So when your friends are talking to you, you talk back to them and maybe don't be on your phones.
But in this game, you can go through, there is a dialogue section where you can go back and reread what they said. You can't do that in real life, but at least you could do it in Coffee Talk episode 2.
Imagine if you could do it in real life. No one would ever pay attention to anybody.
They just go back and reread.
It's like, I'll just go check the chat logs when it's relevant. And if it's not relevant, I'll never look at them.
Amazing. Yeah. Well,
it's coming, Chris.
Yeah.
Your phone's always listening. It's just a matter of time before it's writing it all down for you.
You know what? I don't doubt it. And it probably is writing down everything that we're saying right now anyway. So whatever. But let's get into those dislikes though, Tom. Shall we?
That interface to me was not intuitive. I entered my name. I hit A to continue. And it brought me back to re-entering my name. And I'm like, wait, what?
Huh.
Yeah. So like in order to like progress, once you've entered your name, you need to hold down like the 3-bar menu button, like the select button on the Xbox or whatever that is.
Yep.
And then like, okay, once you get into the actual game, I guess becomes confirm, or I should say skip to next line of text. And it's just endless. It's just it's just people they're just talking.
They won't shut up.
Talking at you, and then you talk at them back, and
that's my first point here. What is the actual game part? Because if you put the game on auto read, basically just put your hands up like this and just watch this whole dialogue unfold. Because that's the other part about it. You have no control over the dialogue at all. Like it's like, what is the point of that? Why am I having this conversation? Why am I not, as someone that's playing a game, trying to make, like, why am I not being able to make choices? The only choices you can make are switching the playlist and making their coffee, which that was the most entertaining part for me, was actually making the drinks for them. I don't know if this is like a like or a dislike, but this is like in between. I'm toeing the line here because the funniest part for me was, especially because I'm sure that it follows the same path, but
yes,
the cop comes in and he's like, oh, get me my regular, but just don't give me any milk that gets me all messed up. Like, oh, okay. So I'm making him a coffee and I'm making it with milk and I'm adding some cinnamon to it. And then I had a blast just trying to etch something stupid on his coffee. And then just seeing their reaction after the fact was just hilarious. And so
if you intentionally mess up and give him milk, he reacts negatively to it.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't what I ordered, and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. But that's it, like that. But that's the only thing you get penalized for. You don't even get penalized. He's just like, this isn't what I ordered, and you're like, okay, well, sorry. And then I was like, do you want me to make you another one? He's like, no, it's okay. And then that was it. Like that's all that happened. And I kept, so then what I ended up doing was I just kept making the same drink for everyone. And the problem is like the dialogue, your character is like making these suggestions to all these people. It's like, I think you would like this type of drink and all this stuff. It's, oh yeah, I'll take that. And I just bring it back a coffee with milk and cinnamon. So it's just like, this isn't what I ordered. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I was like, I know what happened. I changed the rules of this game. That's what happened. So I was like, oh, so good. That was the only thing I was just really enjoying about this game. So
I'm just imagining the somebody coming in and being like, I only drink herbal tea and it has to be sweetened with honey. And you're like, okay. And then black coffee shows up.
Yeah, because the second character, he says, he's like, I can't take coffee anymore. And I was like, you got it coming right up. Here's a coffee. It's like, oh my God, it was amazing. That was the best part. But
it's incredibly lame that you have no choice on how to respond. They ask questions and you don't get to make suggestions.
Right.
It's literally on autopilot. Yeah. And it sounds like even the coffee doesn't matter.
No, no, it doesn't. They just get a little upset and then they just continue talking. You're just like, okay, I guess I got to go through this. I thought that would like make someone leave, but that didn't happen either. It's just there. And then what's the point of this whole Facebook thing? What was the point of that? Like,
I looked at it.
Right. I thought that the possibility of like, you would learn more about the people that you're interacting with and like maybe that would help you build better drinks for them and stuff like that. Or have like different dialogue options with them. Nothing.
Yeah.
It just felt, I don't know.
Not that you used it, but I did appreciate the recipe guide. So if somebody comes and asks, somebody asks for a cafe latte, you can go into your little brew app. Right. It's like, do this. And it's like, all right, cool. But then there's a bunch of drinks that people ask for and they are not in there.
All right.
And you just have to kind of guess.
Wait, how many people did you actually cater to?
The cop.
Yep.
The satyr.
Yep.
The banshee.
Yep.
And then the mermaid girl and the orc came in.
Oh, in that first
No, that was in the second night.
Oh, okay. I didn't even get that far. I was too busy just etching. I just kept resetting and etching like just dumb things onto it just took forever. But yeah. And I guess that's the other thing that I was a little confused about because this is like semi in the future, but in some fantasy world-ish.
Yes.
Where it's like you have characters that are like satyrs, like you said, and banshees that just seem to be commingling in regular society.
Yes. So, it's an alternate Seattle.
Right, exactly. And it is based in Seattle. So it's like, okay, I guess satyrs can be hipsters too in Seattle.
Yeah. Speaking of satyrs, I think Lucas was dumb and I hated that he kept taking photos of his drinks.
Oh my God. How many drinks did you give him?
Too many.
Oh, wow. I just gave him the one and he stopped asking for drinks. So that's
great. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe he asked for a second one in the second.
Okay.
He comes back.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. But yeah.
And I also want to point out that the Xbox, every time you get an achievement or whatever, you get a pop-up, right? That's just kind of how the Xbox works. Now, unfortunately, that pop-up is in the bottom center of the screen. Guess what else is in the bottom center of the screen? All of the dialogue that's occurring in this game, which is the only thing that is relevant or matters. the game, in quotation marks, is happening underneath my Xbox achievements.
Hey, but you achieved something. That's what I did.
Yeah, I guess so.
You played this for an hour. That's what you achieved. Anything else you want to bring up here about this game, Tom?
I would like to mention, if it's not obvious,
right,
this is episode 2.
Right.
So it's the second game in a series, and I feel those references to the first title.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about characters that are not on screen, and it's like, well, you should know this. I don't, because I've never played the first game.
Right.
That's kind of negative. And then kind of positive, this is the kind of game where if maybe you made yourself a cup of tea before you started, it would enhance your experience. I enjoy drinking tea, so I did that, and it did add to my experience a little bit. So if you're going to try this out, maybe you want to make yourself a hot beverage before you begin.
Or you can make it during the game, because the game plays itself. So, I mean, like, who are we kidding?
Yes. Anyway. There's an idea. Start the game up, put it on auto read. When a character asks you to make a drink, just leave and go make that drink for yourself.
Exactly. There you go. That's the real game. This is an AR game, isn't it? This is augmented reality. That's what
it can be.
Yeah.
Make yourself a cafe latte instead of that person on the other side of the bar.
The other thing, actually, it makes me think about like an actual game where you're not a coffee shop barista, but more of like a bartender and like making drinks like that. Like that would be kind of a cool game, I would think, in this style of game, but actually doing more than just, the dialogue that's happening there. I think that'd be kind of cool.
They could do a lot with the mechanics there.
Right.
And it could even be like, I would prefer if it was a little bit better, but they could do it in that simulator style game.
Yes. Agree. In terms of other notables, though, this game apparently has Xbox Play Anywhere, so you can, play. If I play this on Xbox or play this on PC, you keep it, you buy it once, and you play it anywhere you want, which is neat. And how long do we? It says this game takes about 6 hours complete if you're just going through the main line. But apparently, also it can go up to like 15 hours. How? I don't know. But
maybe if you just wait a long time between pressing A.
Maybe. It's definitely possible, or you get stuck in the etching in the making all your fancy drinks there. So Tom, are we keeping this game on our respective consoles and devices, or are we throwing it out like all my other coffee drinks that I made throughout my playthrough? But before we get to that, I do want to thank our sponsor, cdkeys.com. Thanks so much for helping us supporting the show. And you can support the show by clicking that link in our description, both on the podcast description and the YouTube description, and checking out some cool deals on CD Keys. So check that out, and we thank you for doing that. Anyway, Tom,
there's hardly any game here. There are plenty of games on CD Keys.
Yeah.
There's hardly any game here in this game that we downloaded and played. I do think that characters are charming. But the fact that you have no agency as a player leaves me with like no desire to continue. Like if I had agency,
right,
I would want to keep playing.
Right.
My choices don't matter. And it sounds like I don't even if you intentionally try to sabotage yourself, it doesn't matter. So.
No. Oh my God. This to me, Tom, was basically the coffee making version of Vampire Survivors. So a hard pass for me. This game, I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm glad I got to experience it for the hour, but that's it. That's it. I'm done with this game. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D, or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our next streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this on YouTube, send us a comment down below and we'll try to respond. And 1H1D is part of that QTB network. And if you like gaming podcasts and all that cool content and stuff that they're doing at QTB, making the merch sometimes, check them out at quitthebuild.com/network. There we go, Tom. And now, Tom, we got to find out what we'll play next, though, don't we?
Yes. I really hope it's not another visual novel.
Same. It's Coffee Talk, episode 1. We're going backwards. We're going backwards. No, I'm just kidding. The surprise me button. I hope you can give us a little bit something different this time.
I'll take a roguelike.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, we're about to find out. Here we go. Okay, I don't know if this is a roguelike, but it is Minecraft Legends.
That I think it's some kind of like real-time strategy.
Oh, okay. So
because
that's
somebody I know was talking about this with their kids or something.
Sweet. We're going to find out on our next episode. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next one.
Thanks, everybody.